My name is Wale Balogun. I'm the national coordinator of Yoruba Revolutionary Movement. It's a group fighting for the self-determination and social emancipation of the Yoruba. First and foremost, we call this press conference to disabuse minds, because you see there is a campaign of calumny that painted the Igbo community in Lagos as embarking on a drive to disrupt the peace and harmony in Lagos, that they were destructive, they were planning to do this and that in Lagos. We are saying it's a lie. Just like the NSAS, something that they label them as being vandals. We are saying that Yorubas, we are ready for this protest because we are suffering. And we are saying that Yorubas will be part of this struggle. They were coming out en mass to ventilate their anger because of the suffering and hardship that is ongoing in Nigeria. It is getting worse and worse. The leaders live in affluence. Most of the people can barely sustain their family on 300 naira per day, whereas the dogs, the pets of these leaders, they spent average of 50,000 naira on their pets on daily basis. And that's why we equally thrown at the recent wage increase that the supporters of President Tinubu were shouting all around. What Nigerian workers did and they demanded for is not an increase in wages. What they want is a living wage, a wage that can take them home. Even the 70,000 naira increment cannot bag a bag of 50 kg of rice. And they were daily increasing, stealing from our Commonwealth. Nigeria will be making more and more money on every day. The people are getting more and more impoverished on daily basis. That is, the rich are getting richer. The poor are getting poorer. As a Yoruba.
Yes. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you, wherever you are joining me from. My name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi, and of course, this is the Comrade Show. I'm glad to welcome you. Please, if you are joining this broadcast, I will appreciate if you could share. If you are joining on YouTube, on Facebook, on all social media handles. It is still on the proposed 1st of August national protest in Nigeria. I've got a few updates. There's been a lot of talking points, to be very honest. The excerpt you just listened to is a youth leader from the Yoruba tribe, of course, expressing support and mobilizing for the protest. Of course, it is increasingly becoming a contestation between the have-nots and, of course, the comfortable, in Nigeria, particularly those on the side of the government of Nigeria. But interestingly, why the elites are saying there should be no protest and they are doing everything right now to ensure that there is no protest, it's really, really funny. Yesterday, I saw a protest organized by the Nigerian government, supporters of the Nigerian government. Apparently, one can easily suggest to say that people have been induced and they gathered their placards to say there should be no protest. They were protesting against Nigeria people's protest. This is how bad Nigeria is being run. Nigerians are organizing a protest to, of course, express their dissatisfaction over issues, over hardship in the land, and so many other things. In the course of this broadcast, I'm going to be, reeling out some of the demands, on the table that I expected that by now those in government would have, at least sat down with, the civil society groups and all critical stakeholders to begin to look at ways of addressing, the demands of those calling for the protest. Rather, they are spending billions, to counter any move, that will promote a protest like this. But interestingly, somebody who's an elite himself, whom you will class as one that, well, to be on the side of government, so to speak, decided to take side with the people of Nigeria. He is standing firmly with the people of Nigeria. I'm going to start from that point. I'm talking from Olumide Akpata, the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate, in Edo State. He released a statement. Unfortunately, coincidentally, for whatever reason it is, Olumide Akpata is currently on Europe tour, where he's engaging with Edo State indigenes, across the world. He's been in London, he's been in Rome. I think today he's going to be in Antwerp, and all of that. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's going to be on ground while this protest is taking place, but if he's on ground, I'm sure that he's going to join the protest. However, he released a statement yesterday, and I thought that, yes, that's the kind of leadership we expect, people standing with the people, to provide. And let's go through some of the things he released, and we're just going to read them, out, so that we can all be part, we can all participate in this. And I was really, really impressed, because so far I've looked around, all others, they seem to, to want to hide from this subject. But Olumide, LP governorship candidate in Edo State, is the only one who has said, look, I am standing with the people of Nigeria. For me, I think this means a lot. It speaks volumes. And after I am not disappointed, it's what I actually expected. Let's look at this. So a recent surge of discussions across new outlets and social media platforms regarding planned protests by citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria set to commence on August 1st, 2024 has drawn significant attention as the recent surge. This protest, aimed at addressing perceived inadequacies in government, have elicited diverse reactions from various segments of Nigerian society. It is paramount to emphatically state that the right to peaceful assembly and free expression, including the right of citizens to protest, are fundamental rights enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As citizens of this great nation, we are not only entitled to exercise these rights, but are indeed duty-bound to do so when circumstances necessitate. It is on this unshakable constitutional foundation that I unequivocally support the right of the would-be protesters to assemble peacefully and articulate their grievances. Speculation about the sponsors or financiers of the process is, in my considered opinion, a misdirection of energy and resources. The root cause of this civic action is painfully evident in the current state of our beloved country. The harsh economic realities faced by countless Nigerians, many of whom struggle daily to meet basic needs, serve as a stark reminder of the urgent need for decisive action. It is a testament to the resilience and patience of Nigerians that we have endured these challenges for so long. To the would-be protesters, I implore you to exercise your constitutional right within the bounds of the law. The nobility of your cause must not be tarnished by actions that contravene the very principles of democracy and good governance that you seek to uphold. Remain peaceful and law-abiding, even in the face of potential provocation. Your conduct during this protest will speak volumes about the depth of your conviction and the strength of our democracy. To our security agencies, I urge the utmost restraint and professionalism in managing these protests. Your primary duty is to protect and serve the citizens of Nigeria, including those exercising their right to protest. Ensure that adequate security measures are in place to safeguard both the protesters and the general public. Your actions in the coming days will be crucial to maintaining public trust and upholding the principles of democracy. To the government at all levels, I call for a moment of deep reflection and decisive action. The voices of the people expressed through this protest should not be dismissed or suppressed, but should serve as a catalyst for positive change. Address the underlying issues that led to the outcry with sincerity, transparency, and a genuine commitment to the welfare of all Nigerians. As we navigate these challenging times, let us remember that the strength of our democracy lies in the ability to peacefully express dissent, engage in constructive dialogue, and work collectively towards the betterment of our nation. The right to protest is not merely a constitutional provision, it is a vital mechanism for citizens to participate actively in the governance of our country. In conclusion, I call on all stakeholders, the protesters, security agencies, government officials, and the general public to approach the coming days with a sense of patriotism, responsibility, and unwavering commitment to the principles of democracy. Let us use this moment as an opportunity to strengthen our democratic institutions, address pressing national issues, and move our beloved country towards a more prosperous and equitable future. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Olumide Akpata, candidate of the Labour Party Edo 2024 election, signed on July the 29th, 2024. That is from a dear citizen of Edo State, Osagbovo Olumide Akpata, taking side with the protesters, and of course, urging for a peaceful protest, advising government not to suppress the voices of those that are calling for some change here and there. Now, while Osagbovo Akpata, an elite, if you may, okay, has this to say, you find people in government as governors, from the presidency to the state levels, to local government chairmen, to clerics, to traditional rulers. All of them are coming out to spread dissent, to spread fear, to warn. Even the institutions are supposed to be serving Nigerians, the police, they are all coming out to try to suppress these protests. Now, the question is, what are Nigerians asking for? What are the demands? There is nobody in Nigeria today taking side with the protests. Okay? That is crazy. That is just plainly mad. That is a lunatic. People have been urged to this point. And Nigerians have decided to say there is the need for us to exercise this right guaranteed by the Constitution of Nigeria. And yet, why those that are responsible for the problems we are facing currently are not looking to address the issues, are not looking to sit with Nigerians to see how these issues can be addressed. Rather, they are looking for those calling for protest. They are looking for those organizing protests. They are looking for those sponsoring protests. And they are leaving the real issues aside. In the same vein, tens of billions of naira is what they are spending to create dissenting voices here and there. Is it not a shame? As we speak, people come out with placards to protest against a proposed protest. Have you ever seen that before? I said, there are some pictures that I cannot independently verify where one of those who came out to protest, was seen counting money, collecting money, while some believe that it is what he was paid to come and do that. At the end of the day, all they continue to do is to continue to weaponize poverty in this land so that they can always hoodwink the weak and the hungry in the society and use them against Nigerians in society. I would have expected that as we speak right now, Nigerian leaders, political leaders would have been calling for a roundtable discourse to look at the issues. I will be showing us some of the issues that have been made available, spreading online. I cannot independently verify, the content of those demands. However, they are there. They are spreading like wildfire. I would expect I will talk about them. They are germane. They are the real issues that we are facing. So much hunger in the land. People cannot survive anymore. And even as we speak, silently, quietly, unannounced, people are dying because of hardship in Nigeria. People are dying because they cannot afford medical bills. They are dying because they don't even know when the next meal is going to come. People are dying for different reasons. They are dying because the hunger in the land is helping to perpetuate criminal activities. And the unsuspecting are becoming victims every day. And yet, we have people sat in government comfortably telling us to endure and doing everything to quell protests. Probably even doing so to arrest people that they suspect, are calling for these protests. But I'm glad there are a few Nigerians, okay? This is another twist to this matter, because in some quarters, they tend to want to make it a tribal matter. Though some people in government are trying to signal that this protest is being organized and perpetuated by the Igbos. It is a very dangerous narrative. They try to push it to say it is the Igbos. Some are saying it is the Igbos in Lagos that are organizing the protest. The question is, the garri that is currently over 90,000 naira, is it selling cheaper in Lagos or anywhere else or in the north? Does hunger understand any language? Is hunger in this land and hardship in this land taking side with any tribe? The answer is no. And so why they try to create this division, as always, some people are standing up, even as Yorubas and as Hausas. And that is why I was so proud when this young man came up and he spoke to my delight. I believe, there are so many people that have been speaking to say, man, look, you cannot divide us along tribal or ethnic lines anymore in this arrangement, because we are all feeling the brunt of what the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu currently is giving us. We are feeling it. Everybody. Whether you live abroad or you live in Nigeria, wherever you live. I don't live in Nigeria, but the people I could send 20,000 naira to previously, and it will be okay today. What they can get for 20,000 naira that make them okay cannot, 100,000 today cannot even afford those things anymore. That is hurting me, even though I don't live there. And it's hurting every Nigerian who's in the diaspora, who's supporting somebody at home or supporting some persons at home. So at the end of the day, so long as you are a Nigerian, we are all in this matter together. It will be travesty for anybody anywhere to come out and say Nigerians should not protest. And the only people who are doing that are people who have some selfish interest to protect in this matter. And that is why I came to respect Olumide Akpata for the statement he issued. And as a matter of fact, he did say in some quarter that if he was to be in Nigeria, he would definitely join the protester, because again, he's a member of Labour Party. Labour Party always do her best to stand with the people because it is the people's party. And in his statement, he cautioned and appealed to protesters to ensure that they are law-abiding, and asked the security operatives to ensure that they protect lives and property as far as this matter is concerned. They want to ask government to begin to look at the demands that are being made. These things are no fluke. The hardship in Nigeria is real. It's real. And everybody's bearing the brunt. I respect Olumide Akpata. I have this excerpt in his London engagement. I just play it. I know that he's on his way to Antwerp, that he's not already there, as part of his diaspora engagements. I mean, it's just coincidental that this engagement, has fallen within this period. I really would have loved to see Olumide Akpata back home in Nigeria. But let's take a look. Let's take a listen to this, and I'll be right back.
I'm here in London to speak to you because of the enormous influence that you have over our people at home. Just to reinforce the message that there is a major problem that needs our immediate intervention. My major concern is the fact that people have been taken out of the equation when it comes to politics and governance in Nigeria. People ought to be at the heart of governance and politics, but people are anything but. Our people have been forgotten. This is why Olu Akpata has left his comfort zone, because I think the test of good governance is you must ensure that your programs and your policies will benefit the majority of the people. I am totally dissatisfied with the fact that our people are holding the short end of the stick.
Well, that's just an excerpt from Olumide's engagement. We had an engagement in London. We had it in Manchester. There's been massive, support, massive turnout, and people are beginning to warm up to Olumide Akpata. And I mean, personally, it's not because I'm campaigning for him. I could see genuineness. But back to the protest. Is it not a shame that even as we speak, okay, the thugs in Lagos are threatening, and the only reason why they are doing so is because some people have put some stipends in their pockets. These guys have never been interested in the collective welfare of Nigerians. They have never been interested in advancing our cause as a people. But we'll see what is going to happen on Thursday. If there's going to be any mayhem, if there's going to be any problem concerning this protest, government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all his cohorts should be held accountable. It will not be the protesters who will create problem. Rather, it will be the people that Bola Ahmed Tinubu and those around him and state governors have weaponized. And if there is escalation that will lead to the breakdown of law and order, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the IG of police, and all of those people responsible for keeping the peace of the nation should be held responsible. Because everybody has seen, calling for this protest, civil society groups, well-meaning Nigerians, majority of them just want to come out and speak to the issues. Very soon I will reel out the issues. Don't go away, stay with me. It is the Comrade Show, and my name is Comrade Lamte Oriagi. And I want to appeal if you can share, particularly on Facebook and on YouTube. Don't forget, if you are joining us for the first time, subscribe to our channel. I'll be right back. It is the Comrade Show. The Comrade Show. Oh yes, people of Nigeria, what you have seen there, I just put up there, and bad governance in Nigeria. I did, inquire why this, and nobody is calling to remove Tinubu from office, but rather people are calling to ask that there should be change of approach to governance in Nigeria. And it's a shame when I listen to people who are supposed to be on the side of the people of Nigeria come out to say, things that we cannot agree with. Let us listen to the governor. Is it the governor of Niger State? I don't know. But one human being was speaking, and I began to ask myself certain questions. Let's take a listen to this excerpt. It's quite a short one. Let's take a listen. At the shame.
In Niger State, we don't have any youth organization that wants to do demonstration. If there are, please let me know. Do we have? Our youth are obedient. They are law-abiding, they are respectful. We understand where we are coming from. We will not allow anybody to use us in our tranquility to cause problem for this country. During the dry season, people did not believe we could farm. We have so much food in our reserve. And from today, I will release 50,000 metric tons of food. So we're going to...
You see this country, the evil that these people perpetuate against Nigeria and Nigerians. Now, because there's protest now, you now remember you have some 50 metric tons of food that you can release because people are calling for protest. Is it not a shame that protest is now what is making you declare that you will release 50 metric tons of food? They are looking for palliative measures to calm Nigerians down. Okay, it's just like what they did when the dollar was on the free fall. They started bribing the international, whatever it is, to give some value to the naira. When they could no longer bribe, naira has gone back on the free fall. If you stop protesters today, the issues are still there. The people are going to come tomorrow to say, we are still hungry. The issues are there. Whatever unsustainable arrangement you are bringing right now does not remove the issues. And what the people are saying, look, let us nip the matter in the bud. Let us find an everlasting solution. Don't go and buy some metric tons of this thing, grains, and you come and give to the people and say, man, you have solved their problem. They will come again even if you succeed in stopping them now. We necessarily may not go applaud secretly, but it's only one thing that we all have in our minds. That's exactly what this matter is about. You don't understand, and it's a shame that you guys don't seem to understand. Let's take a listen further. You are bringing 50 metric tons of food because you have them secretly. Why now, enemy of progress? Wanna listen to them?
We have so much food in our reserve. Yeah. And from today, I will release 50,000 metric tons of food. So we're going to slash by 50% any food, any grains. By the grace of God, in the next 2 months, we are crashing the price of food by 90%. For this food, even civil servants, you can take bag of corn, rice, millet, guinea corn, beans, and pay in 4 months.
We must keep aside our differences.
In United States, we don't have any youth organization that wants to do demonstration. If there are, please let me know. Do we have our youth?
Just the play. You know, that is one of the governors, I believe. And but again, while I felt very disappointed, you know, with his rendition, all in a bid to quell and of course to ensure that people don't come out to protest, I was very pleased when this Yoruba young leader spoke to these same issues. Let's take a listen, please.
My name is Wale Balogun. I'm the national coordinator of Yoruba Revolutionary Movement. It's a group fighting for the self-determination and social emancipation of the Yoruba. First and foremost, we call this press conference to disabuse minds, because you see there is a campaign of calumny that painted the Igbo community in Lagos as embarking on a drive to disrupt the peace and harmony in Lagos, that they were destructive, they were planning to do this and that in Lagos. We are saying it's a lie. Just like the NSAS, something that they label them as being vandals. We are saying that Yorubas, we are ready for this protest because we are suffering. And we are saying that Yorubas will be part of this struggle. They were coming out en masse to ventilate their anger because of the suffering and hardship that is ongoing in Nigeria. It is getting worse and worse. The leaders live in affluence. Most of the people can barely sustain their family on 300 naira per day, whereas the dogs, the pets of these leaders, they spent average of 50,000 naira on their pets on daily basis. And that's why we equally thrown at the recent wage increase that the supporters of President Tinubu were shouting all around. What Nigerian workers did and they demanded for is not an increase in wages. What they want is a living wage, a wage that can take them home. Even the 70,000 naira increment cannot bag a bag of 50 kg of rice. And they were daily increasing, stealing from our Commonwealth. Nigeria will be making more and more money on every day. The people are getting more and more impoverished on daily basis. That is, the rich are getting richer. The poor are getting poorer. As a Yoruba person, there's an adage in our land that take back turning that if you are not hungry, that you cannot say you are poverty stricken. That somebody that can eat, that can feed himself, is okay, according to the by the Yoruba. But if the family cannot feed, and they were now using a cosmetic approach that they call palliative. What is palliative? It is just to deceive people that government feel concerned about your plight and that we're doing something. Whereas the palliative is not meant to resolve the question of hunger, the question of starvation, the question of hardship, the question of insecurity of life and property in the land. So they were just deceiving the people. So in essence, we are saying that for this protest, and that's why we came out categorically, that it is not an Igbo thing, it is not an Hausa thing, it is not a Kanuri thing. It's a collective something to fight organization injustice, and that's why we are on. The name is Wale Balogun.
Yes. Wale Balogun, well done, my brother. God will bless you. That's Wale Balogun, equally taking side with the protesters. Of course, he has said it all actually. What he said just a summary of the whole situation. But let us take a look at what the demands are. Some of the information spreading out there. Some things were put together that I don't know how these things came together. Anyways, but of course there are real issues that are confronting the people, and I just thought that for those who may not know, because somehow they are trying to create some mystery out of this protest. So the conversation has never been about what are the real issues. The conversation has been about why must you protest? Who are the sponsors of the protest? Why would they want to sponsor protest? Oh, they want to bring down what's his name? The government of Buhari. Oh, the Igbos are sponsoring this. They distract everybody from what the real conversations are. And I thought that I just put this thing up and let's have a chat about it. From what has been flying around, these are some of the things that the issues appear to be. Then number one, that the federal government should reduce fuel pump price to 200 naira and diesel to 400 naira per liter. That is one of the things that the protesters are calling for. The protesters are not interested in the grains that you want to spread around for a few days. They don't want you to give them a fish. They want to be perpetually taught how to fish. Reduce the price of fuel pump price, and the people can, fend for themselves continuously. Number two, say reduce gas price to 300 naira per kg. Number three, refine our crude oil using the 4 refineries we have in Nigeria. Don't carry our crude and take them abroad and bring them back more expensive for us. Why can't we use our refineries? Was it not what they were built for? That's one of the items here. It's a major issue. It's a major issue. Say open all borders for free market economy. Well, I don't really know this, but I know that the federal government can sit with the stakeholders to begin to discuss some of these issues. fish out the big sponsors of insecurity in Nigeria and terminate their evil operations. That's number 5. Of course, insecurity is a major problem in this country. We know it. Our farmers can't go to farm. Before we started hearing of Boko Haram and all of that, Nigeria was not in a good shape per se, but our farmers still are able to go to farm. We are able to get tomatoes from the north, come to the south, get onions from the north, come to the south, get yam from the north, come to the south, get plantain from the south to all over Nigeria, get garri from the south to all over Nigeria, get palm oil from the east to all over Nigeria. But today, many of those farmers right now, the ones that are able to be alive, are afraid because some things, have actually happened to their neighbors. Some have been made, some have died because they went to their farms. And we've been on this for years and years and years. People are scared to go to their farms. So they are saying, fish out people who sponsor this insecurity and let us have a peaceful Nigeria. Number 6, reduce present school fees in all secondary and tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Number 7, subsidize bills in all government hospitals in Nigeria. These are Jamaica. These are the sufferings of the people. People die every day for what ordinarily should not kill people. People can't even afford medical bills in the hospital. Somebody rang me this morning. The person is in the hospital. You understand what I'm saying? I was to the hospital last night. And the family, they are running helter-skelter. Before they can even attend to them, they want them to come and pay a deposit of 150,000 naira. This morning, in this same Nigeria, only God knows what is going to happen to that woman in question. But the family are running helter-skelter. That is what gets to some of us. Sometimes we get this information like this, we know they feel rest. We go still contribute our little quota. The same way many from when they listen to me now, this is the same thing you go through. But if this country was better off, some of these things don't really happen. Number 8, pay all Nigerian graduates the minimum wage until they are employed. I think this is a matter that should be discussed because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, a lot of the young people right now, when they catch for criminality, many of them are graduates. Some have been graduates for years, no work, nothing. Nothing. Because the system has not been made conducive for people to thrive. So these are issues that government can discuss with the Nigerian people. We'll go number 9. Number 9, FG should make it a law for all political parties to reduce the price of nomination forms for presidency and governorship to a maximum of 5 million and 3 million respectively. This will enable the younger citizens to have access to leadership too. I think this is very germane as well. Right from home this morning, I tell us, man, the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. But at the end of the day, look at all of them. Look at all of them. Who is a youth amongst them? You know what I'm saying now? Who? But the youths are being used to carry weapons to fight against themselves. They are being used to protest against a proposed protest. They are being used, giving stipends. So I think that matter is a matter too that should be discussed. Number 10, implement the 2014 National Confab as unanimously agreed upon. This is very important as well because, at the end of the day, we must begin to look at the root cause of the issues that we are confronted with. Number 11, all public office holders' salaries should be slashed by 70%. I agree with this. I think that this is a matter that government should look at. I also think that while civil servants are, salaries are pegged at levels, level 8, level 9, level 10, level 14, I think that politicians should equally be pegged at levels. Probably a senator should be on a salary scale of like level 14 or level 13. So all this indiscriminate, use of our resources, things made for hospital, for road, they spend on themselves. People, when they say they already get money, enter Senate, enter House of Assembly, they bought for themselves over 300 bulletproof vehicles in this same country where Mr. Mahonga want by everybody. I think that should be reviewed because the level of illegality and immorality that is prevalent when it comes to political office holders. In fact, if it is not nipped in the bud, the survival of this country, it just the hang and thread nine hold together. Number 12, all public office holders must have their kids schooling in Nigerian institutions, not abroad. Well, that's a matter that can be discussed too. Number 14, no governor should be allowed to go for Senate after 8 years tenure. I think it's a very important point as well. I don't know how they come with this, but I think it's very important because at the end of the day, once they don't hit the state finish, kill and finish, they will package themselves and go and land in the Senate. At the end of the day, when you look at their contribution at the home front as governors, they have, they don't level the state finish. Then look at Babio now. Look, is it a typical example? After finishes his 8-year term, Oshomo Letona said, once you come to APC, your sins are forgiven. Now today they have rewarded him with the Senate presidency. They have rewarded with Senate presidency. Now he's a Senate president of Nigeria. He will open his mouth loudly, widely. The other day, that's what he did. He said the senators should check their account that they have been giving, some stipends to enjoy a brief holiday. We're talking of tens of millions for each senator. Meanwhile, the average Nigerian is suffering. How will people not protest under this kind of arrangement? Buhari became president. He never reached 2 weeks. He don't send appropriation bill to the National Assembly. 14 billion for this, the other billion for that, the other billion for this. Vice President's house to be renovated, lodge to be renovated, all in billions. Even go to his wife, that the Constitution does not recognize or apportion any office. Not less than 4 to 6 billion went to our direction as well. Just like that. And yet, we will get lecturers fighting for years and years and years for the budget on education to just get more increase. Man, anybody who stand against this protest is an enemy of this country. I repeat it, is an enemy of this country. I think Nigerians should protest. It is their right. As a matter of fact, the country cannot be ungovernable for some people while some are living in affluence. And let us have a day or 2 or 3 where the country is ungovernable for nobody. Probably at that time, our head will come down. We'll come discuss the real matters of this country. Because what we have is not sustainable. It's evidently not sustainable. So those are some of the demands. I saw these ones, and they've been flying around on the internet space. I just said, I'm looking at them, they are real issues. They are real issues. But majorly, there's hunger in the land. Food is so expensive. People cannot afford food. People cannot afford food. The federal government, the state government, the local council, everybody must see this as a national emergency. As a national emergency. All of them, you see them. They are coming out, no protest, no protest. Even young people, when you say they never even sit down where. You see them, no protest, no protest, no protest. Because of what? Because of what? All through before Rishi Sunak, come up for a prime ministership, there's been protests in the UK. Place where we will say, okay, people can get by. Junior doctors have been protesting. They want their wage to be increased at least to level up with the rate of inflation. What is it called? Train drivers have been going on strike every day in this same country. And government has not in any way, has not attempted or tried to attempt to stop people from protesting. In this same UK, government is sitting with them. Labour Party just came on board now, and they have sat with the junior doctors. They have reached certain arrangement with them just to ensure that this country is moving well. Then in our own case, Nigerians want to protest because there is hunger in the land. People are dying of hunger, dying of not being able to afford basic amenities. And yet, the government of Nigeria is sponsoring protests against a proposed protest. Not be juju be that. Not be juju be that. Wait till we know they hear. Protest against protest. Now the hoodlums in Lagos, they are threatening. They are threatening. Why would they not threaten? Is that not a product of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? When we they talk, that time they talk. Many of them they say, "Oh, your mandate was not be the mandate today." So, are we not us enjoying the mandate now? Look at me, Fantala. Fellow Nigerians, they say if person scratch body with the way body they scratch, man. If you go scratch bone, honestly, I am pained, really, really pained. If you are not, I don't know which kind of planet you did, but I am, because Nigeria is hurting. It's a shame because things are happening in that country, and man, my own advocacy is that Nigerians should be allowed to express themselves in these protests. I will continue to appeal, just as Olumide has appealed, that protesters should be focused, and those who are in charge of the protests, I will appeal that there should be enough sensitization. Let us not take our anger against our shop owners, because that would not be nice. Let's take our anger to the Aso Rock. Let's take our anger to the governor's offices across the various states. Let's take our anger to the National Assembly of Nigeria. Let us present our documents to them. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? And the demands. Okay? That is what I will advocate. And for the police, if you not listen, you guys too, you are suffering. Do not be cowards when they just say, Mona go keep you when I begin to keep people. Do not be cowards when they just say, Mona go shoot you when I begin. Just gently allow the protesters know that you are one of them. You are equally suffering. How much been a salary when I win the policemen when we come out of that day? How much been a salary? How much are they paying you? You understand? So you guys must ensure that you say you don't do anything against the lives of Nigerians, particularly when they are having it peacefully. Like I said before, if there will be problem, if this matter will escalate beyond control, it could be because Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his cohorts and those that they are using, they want to crack down on peaceful protesters. And when they do, there will be no way Nigerians who are peaceful will not respond, and that can lead to escalation. So I would rather advise the Lagos State government to call out the Agberos and want them to keep away from this protest. May they not turn the country into fire. Because if there's going to be any escalation now from my hand, now we want to see them. The governor of Niger, all these governors say, oh, there should be no protest, You are sponsoring people to protest against protest. You are encouraging them. You are whipping up sentiments. If there will be escalation, now on a hand it day, you people must take responsibility for whatever happens. Fellow Nigerians, God will bless you now. On your mandate, we are already standing. And I'm glad that everybody's enjoying this mandate. We'll see you again. My name remains Comrade Lamte Oriaki. Bye for now. Comrade Show.